Hey, I'm back with another journaling video, and I hope to have this video be about celebrations. So how I keep track of celebrating important people in my life, and how I use my planner and my journal to both remember and plan for, and then document celebrating that important person. I had trouble finding the words for a second. So I will show you how I accomplish that, or at least my best effort. So it was several years ago, I heard the concept of a celebrations planner. So a planner, and it was the lady who has Power Sheets. And I can't remember what her name is, but she has the Power Sheets goal planner. Anyway, I can't remember her name, and that's very disrespectful. But anyway, I followed her for a little while, and she had this planner she sold called a celebrations planner or something to that effect. And she talked about this binder that had folder slots in it where you could buy like a year's worth of cards, and it had dividers for each month, and you would write down your loved one's name and their birthday or anniversary, or even just like Halloween or St. Patrick's Day, or any of the like extra things besides major holidays that you want to do something for. And then in this little folder, you could buy all these cards for the people or plan for celebrating. And I loved the concept a lot. I never did buy the celebrations planner because I kind of got the concept and I thought it was a great one. So after learning about that, it was like a year where I wanted to celebrate everything. So I wanted to celebrate every person's birthday, and I mean like really celebrate. So if I couldn't be with the person, I wanted to make it a big deal that it was their birthday. Or I would go out of my way to have little birthday parties for not only my immediate family, but my extended family as well. And it was a lot of fun, but it ended up being a little bit more than I had bit off more than I could chew, because we were also like having a St. Patrick's Day meal. And we are not a Jewish family, but we are a Christian family, and we celebrate a Christian Easter, but we were also celebrating a Jewish Passover meal. I mean, it was a lot of fun, but like it was too much. It was just, the whole thing was way too much for me. So since then, I've kind of scaled it back, but still have the same, I try to do the same kind of vibe, but just in an easier, more manageable way. So how I accomplish that is in the front of my planner, and actually I'm going to show kind of a little bit of limbo I'm in here. In my Sterling ink planner that I started off the year with, I had used these pages, these quarterly pages, to write down my friends and family that I want to make sure I don't forget their birthday. So I wrote down their name, and then once that happened, I wrote down what I did for them. So yeah, I put myself on here too. And whatever it was, my brother, I sent him a text, which seems kind of lame, but that's our vibe. And my cousin, I sent her a Starbucks gift card and a card. I just wrote what I did for that person, so I can go back and remind myself or remind myself of what I did the previous year. So I'm just writing this in here. My friend just had a birthday. So that is kind of how I've done that. I put not all the celebrations that I hope to have, but the people that I hope to not forget. But I'm not using the Sterling ink planner. I moved over to this Leuchtturm right now. So as I said, I'm kind of keeping this one as my sort of main go back to planner, sort of, I don't know, the boss, I guess. And then I moved into this little guide just to see how it would work out. And in the front of this Leuchtturm B6 Plus monthly planner, they have these pages, which are kind of like those pages from Sterling ink, but I'm keeping track of my intentional miles in here, and there isn't other place to put this that I figured out yet. Like these, I guess I could do it here. I could list the birthdays here. I probably could do that. I might try that actually. I'm not sure. Anyway, what I have just done so far in February and March is I've just moved over. So I have this birthdays with the mark, and then I put my family in here. My brother and my cousin had a birthday in February. So I put that little dot. It looks like that. And then after I've made sure that I have done the thing that I hoped to do for them, I would put a check mark, just sort of saying, okay, yeah, you did that. Anyway, it seems like a whole lot, but I'm using a lot of words to describe a very simple concept and a very simple task in my life. And it's extremely important for me to remember people on their birthdays. So I just feel like birthdays are special, and each person only gets one day a year, but they get that day. And so I want just to celebrate them and know they're celebrated. And it doesn't have to be money, but a physical card is nice. You know, a $10 coffee card is nothing compared to like the possibility of making that person feel, I don't know, just thought of and special. So, especially if they like coffee. So it just seems like a simple act. And then after I do that, another thing that I do, not after I do that, as a sort of a part of that, I will also talk about it in my journal. So this is a journal from the end of last year, and I just marked a simple way here. So this one is my husband. Now of course, my husband's celebration is going to be a bigger deal because he's my, in my immediate household and the person closest to me. But I just write his birthday, and then I write a little thing. I put a picture about them, and then I sort of might write a little thing to them. Like, I really appreciate you. I care a lot about you. This is what we did for your birthday, but I'll commemorate that somehow. And I don't have any in here, but even if it's a friend, maybe, let's see, like a good friend of mine that I'm going to make sure that I wish them happy birthday, I will put that in my planner. So I may not make a whole page for them like I intend to do for my husband, like I did for my husband, or I do for my children. And with my children as well, a lot of times, you have those pictures that come up from, this day 15 years ago or whatever it is. Sometimes I'll screenshot a picture of them and include that next to them, say, this is my daughter, she turned 15 and here she was when she was 2 or whatever. And I might have a whole day as like a whole 2 pages spread to that person, or 1 page, and might write a little note to them. I'm so proud of you over this last year, whatever. But if it's a friend and I might, it depends on what I do, but even if it's just like I sent that person a text, then on that day, like my good friend's birthday, March 10th, I'll write, happy birthday, Jen. And she's, whatever her number is, day today, how many years old today. And then I don't usually write necessarily a letter to that person or a note to that person like I would do with my family, but I just acknowledge their birthday. It really depends on the relationship that I have with the person. So I don't know, I feel like in a way it's me saying, this person's important to me. My planner, I don't intend to be with me in 10 years from now. But my journals, I do. So it's just a way I feel of commemorating the importance of that person in my life. So I write it in my journal, and they don't know that I wrote that in my journal, unless perhaps in the future they happen to read my journal. So it's sort of like, it would be like me letting them know how much I care about them if I'm not able to say it myself. And the celebrations part of it in my planner is me telling that person that I love and appreciate them in the present, and then writing it in the journal is like me telling them in the future. A future without me in it, I guess, sort of thing, because why would they be reading my journal if I wasn't around? Anyway, I feel like I overcomplicated that entire process with all my many words, but it is something that I do, and I think I love it. I was just talking to a good friend of mine the other day about how much I love it. She's the one that we were talking about, well, yeah, it can get kind of expensive if you're, sending gifts to a lot of, if you have all these people in your life and you're sending gifts to all of them. And she said, yeah, could get expensive, but you don't have to make it expensive. I mean, you could make your own card. And you don't have to make it expensive, or you could do that thing. And really in the long run, you're like investing. You could look at it as an investment, into people. And I guess it just depends on the relationship that you have with that person, how, what you share with that person is really what you do. And I feel like it's made me more aware of the people closest to me. So I feel like I can pick up on little clues, like there was a friend of mine that really liked a certain little thing in my Etsy shop. And I heard her talk about it. I heard her talking about wanting to get it. I think she was kind of like hinting at me that she wanted me to bring it the next time I was with her, but it wasn't enough on her mind that she made it a point to tell me, hey, don't forget to bring that. So it was just sort of this undercurrent between us, a very subtle thing. And that's what I gave her for her birthday, along with her favorite energy drink or whatever it is. So just that simple act. I guess the other thing I could go back to, I sort of glossed that over when I talked about sort of having my plan for the year in my sterling ink, and then having had switched over to the Leuchtturm, and where was I going to keep track of these? I don't really know yet. I think after just having talked through it here, that I might try to transfer those dates over here. There isn't a way to really write what I'm going to do or what my plan is to do for them. But I might just be able to put it on a sticky note, because it's not like I'm planning this celebration or how I'm going to tell them that they're, I appreciate them or I plan to celebrate them. That's not something I'm thinking about months and months ahead of time. I'm literally looking at my planner going, oh, hey, like my friend Jen, like the week before, oh, I got to make sure I get a card for Jen. Anyway, and get that in the mail. I'm just looking at it a week at a time. So, but I kind of just wanted to go back and keep track of what it was I did for her. So I might be able to do that with the sticky note. I don't know, in here. Right now I just have that in here in this book. I know that Leuchtturm actually also sells or sold additional pages like this, I think. There was 2 of them. Oh, I don't know. They sold some stickers that you could like add, because this is just a monthly planner. I think it might have been like additional weekly stickers and then additional monthly stickers. I think so that if you bought one or the other planner, you could add those in. I think that's the way it was. And maybe I could get that. I don't know. Or I could just use this planner and just not complicate it, That's what I'm doing right now, is complicating it. I could just put these in here. I think I will do that and just see how it goes. And then I could just this is Project Plan 2025, but I could just be like Celebrations Plan 2025. I mean, that makes sense. I could make this work. But mostly I just want to keep track, and it's more for keeping track than it is planning, because honestly, I can look ahead. I have looked ahead, and I think I've added everybody's birthdays. Yeah, I've added everybody's birthdays into these pages. So, also another thing, conceptually, if I'm meeting somebody and getting to know someone, say somebody that new at work, and we're developing a friendship, I feel like, I want to know when their birthday is, but I don't want to like, out and out ask. It's not like I'm writing every acquaintance down in my book so that I can send them a birthday wish on their birthday, because I definitely want it to be an authentic thing, somebody that's really in my circle of people. And of course that can look different for everybody. Some people have a huge circle of people and some people have a more narrow circle. So, but I just want the people that are in my life to know how genuine I am, and that I'm literally not sending a card or even a birthday wish to 100 people. I don't have that many people in that tight circle. So I only say that to say that it doesn't have to be an overwhelming thing. It doesn't feel overwhelming to me at all. I mean, I have like 2 or 3 people a month that I'm either wishing happy birthday to, sending a card to, whatever. And this is including nephews and, siblings and parents and friends. And then of course my immediate family. So anyway, that's that. The other thing I wanted to share real quick on the end of this video is I had shared that small little reel about these 2 wonderful notebooks. Well, actually, I had just talked about this sterling ink 520 page numbered grid notebook. This is a beauty. I got it in the mulberry with the gilded edges because I've talked about before how much I love the gilded edges. But then I have this guy, and this is the Leuchtturm 411. So this is a little bit more narrow, but it has 520 pages, where this one is a standard A5 and it has 411 pages in it. And I'm coming from this Leuchtturm that has taken me longer because I've kind of neglected some pages. And here, this is not very good. I just have, I don't know, 50 pages, I have about 50 pages left in here, maybe a little bit more. And so of course I'm contemplating what's going to be my next journal. And I really, really was convinced that it was going to be this one. Like, this was going to be the year of the Leuchtturm, because this will take me possibly the rest of the year. But now I'm thinking about this, and it's really, really going to be a hard decision, because I'm almost positive that if I start writing this one, I will not be done with it until the end of the year. This is a big commitment right here. The only reason I'm thinking it is because, one, it might, coming from the Leuchtturm to another Leuchtturm, might need to spice it up a little bit. But I had this book out August 2024 to November 2024, so just last year, and this was the 272 page notebook that I filled up. And I'm just feeling it. I'm just loving it. And I just see the Tomo River paper, and I just loving the vibe. So I'm not sure. Because what'll happen is I'll get in this and I'll be like, why? Because it's a soft back. So this is a softer leather, or more flexible leather. So maybe I could find a leather with a little firmer temper. I don't know. Decisions. I feel like it may sound like a really silly thing to ponder over, but it's a big commitment, especially in something that I love doing so much. I love to journal and I love books, and to choose this book for the next 9 months, I mean, at minimum 6 months, it would be a very gratifying thing to see in the end, but it will be quite the process. I mean, it really will be for both of them. So I'm kind of leaning more towards this. We'll see.